Hello everyone, my name is Blue-Rain. A few things about me. First off, I'm emo as shit. Put me in a room with a massive stereo system and CD copies of 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, Sempiternal, and The Devil and God are raging inside me, and expect me blasting that shit 24/7 for the next week or so. Secondly, I'm brony as shit. If you follow me on Twitter or have me added on Discord, you know I'm pony posting like absolute mad. Side effects may include exposure to derpy hooves, rainbow dash, fluttershy, and thorax. Best boy thorax! So now you know the 2 main aspects of my personality. That was a joke! Now I'm gonna ask you a question. What happens if you combine emo as fuck, MySpace era scene queen, you know, all that stuff, with the brony fandom? Oh my god, magical colorful horses, please invade my television. Let me introduce you to Prince Whateverer. Prince Whateverer is a UK-based brony musician who puts his skill to the guitar to very good use. He's also an OG. This guy started his channel in 2009, but uploaded his first video on December 3rd, 2011. His first video being a rock cover of Beyond Her Garden by the fantastic Wooden Toaster or Glaze. This thing definitely has that lo-fi do-yourself rock band feel going on. His voice has this rasp to it, this almost hushed sound. Take a listen. Very authentic, and definitely a good sign of things to come. He would go on to release rock covers of songs by A Day to Remember, Good Choice, and various other brony classics like Nightmare Night and September. Now we start getting into some of his original songs. His first original My Little Pony song is entitled Rainbow Thrash. It still has that lo-fi feel, but I don't think it's better than the Beyond Her Garden tribute. The vocals sounded pretty compressed, but I can't blame him for that. This is 2011. Hardly anyone was doing rock in the still pretty new brony scene. It was dominated by electronic stuff, the biggest example being Wooden Toaster, or Glaze, and tracks like Rainbow Factory and Beyond Her Garden. So I'm not gonna thrash, get it? Rainbow Thrash, because it's pointing towards something bigger. It's 2012, the second law is out, the world's gonna end, and bronies are beginning to dominate the internet. Great stuff came out of the scene this year. We have the Living Tombstones classic remix of Discord by Eurobeat Brony, Wooden Toaster put out, in my opinion, their best song, Awoken, featuring Hateseed, and Prince Whateverer puts out something for Best Pony Derpy Hooves, a song titled Between Fairy Tales and Happy Endings. While I don't want to dwell on this now because we'll get to it later, this is easily a very monumental moment in Prince Whateverer history. The year is 2013. Prince Whateverer puts out his debut album, which looks more like an EP, Rediscover. I kinda only really like listening to brony music when it's on streaming platforms, and this one isn't on it. It makes sense though. I did a little bit of sampling and the sound is pretty thin. We'll get to some of these tracks later, however. Let's skip to 2016. Oh yeah, man. Blink-182 put out California. I was no longer a brony, but I was big into Ava G. And what does Prince Whateverer do? He puts out an album entitled Reinvent. Reinvent is, in my opinion, Prince Whateverer's first real big splash. The songs sound great because this isn't 2011 anymore. And Pony Metalcore is in, brother, it is in! Let's get some recommendations out of the way. So Long is a fantastic anthem about the crumbling friendship between Moondancer and Twilight Sparkle. Left Behind has ties to the Apple family story. Frailty encourages Twilight during the battle with Tirek. Away From Me tells a story about Starlight's enslaved village. And Forget About It is basically just punk rock Twilight running away from Camelot with her friends, and it's awesome. Remember back in 2012 when I talked about a song entitled Between Fairy Tales and Happy Endings? The reason I didn't talk about it much is because I consider the Reinvent version the definitive version. Take a little listen. How could you try and change who I've always been? What did I do wrong? I never wanted any of this. I'm sorry if I ever offended you. This is a song in support of the Best Pony Derpy Hooves. Definitely first written during the whole Derpygate fiasco, where people were pissed off at Derpy's representation in the show, which then led to Hasbro censoring her, which only led to more people being angry. It was a whole thing. The song is excellent. It captures the feeling of this whole charade through Derpy's eyes extremely well, both in instrumentation and lyrics. And that build up to the final movement of the song is legendary. Take a listen. How could you try and change who I've always been? What did I do wrong? I never wanted any of this. I'm sorry if I ever offended. Reinvent is definitely a solid album for sure. It has great moments across it. Unfortunately, however, I gave it a score of 4 out of 5, otherwise known as certified solid. Reason being is that if Prince Whatever were to release a physical copy reissue of Reinvent, I don't see myself purchasing it. I only really enjoyed 9 tracks from the 16-track album, and while the production is definitely better than the years before, it doesn't come close to what comes in the future. Over the next 3 years, Prince Whatever would release multiple tracks and build hype for his 3rd studio album. This is, in my opinion, the best thing he's ever put out, and I think it will remain as my favorite Prince Whatever album. The year is 2019, and let me introduce you to Reimagine. This album sounds amazing. There's definitely more of a metalcore influence than on Reinvent to my ears. Hell, it may rank among some of my favorite metalcore albums ever. Destabilized and Lost in Data are metalcore ragers about Sweetie Bot, one of the characters featured in Friendship is Witchcraft. Conviction is a fucking amazing tune about Tempest Shadow or Fizzle Pop Berry Twist from the 2017 My Little Pony movie. The 4 R's tell an amazing story about warfare with the changelings. Delta V is a good track, but I personally don't like it because I fucking hate Delta V! That whole story hits a bit too close to home for me. Betrayer, Luna's Caps Part 3 is heavy as fuck. Not Letting Go is an anthem that gives hope to Fluttershy. This is actually a re-recording of a song featured on his debut album and is, in my opinion, the definitive version. I'm a sucker for a good Fluttershy song. And Goodbye is a very nice acoustic ode to the show ending, as this record was released in 2019. Now, Reimagine is, in my eyes, the best Prince Whatever album. The production is spot on, the riffs are catchy as fuck, it's overall excellent. However, one song rules this whole record for me, and it was actually my introduction to Prince Whatever. This is his magnum opus, his masterpiece, I Introduce to You. Solidarity in This Together, a post-hardcore pop-punk song about the Brony community. If it wasn't for the way that the fantastic Brony YouTuber Shunks described this song, I would have never found it and would have never become a fan of Prince Whatever. Roll the clip!
Solidarity. So, have you ever been to a Hot Topic where there's that TV in the corner or above the cash register area, and they'll have a music video for whatever song's playing in the store from some random emo band? This sounds like one of
Solidarity in This Together is amazing. It's catchy, it has references in its lyrics here and there, and it even samples the show itself.
Now, on a day like today, I can honestly say I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for the friendships I've made with all of you.
Instant classic. Instant fucking classic, bro. I jam this shit seemingly every day. Reimagine doesn't get a certificate of perfection from me, as I found some of the auto-tune vocals on some tracks a bit off-putting, but I'm happy to return the full album and see if I can look past all that. Reimagine is a masterpiece. It's my favorite Brony album of all time. Metalcore bias! And I come back to it frequently. Please, Prince Whatever, please reissue Reimagine on CD. I would kill to own it. After Reimagine, there really have only been standalone singles here and there, along with some covers and parodies. In the later years, he's actually gone ahead and released old versions of some of these songs on streaming platforms, like the 2013 versions of The Fight Inside, Promises, and Not Letting Go, and the 2014 version of Frailty. Of course, I prefer the newer versions of all of these because I'm a production nerd, but they're there for anyone who's interested. Some of the recent singles that have caught my ears are as follows. Remember Me is a song about starlight and sunburst, seemingly before the episodes The Crystalling Parts 1 and 2. I love the piano in the intro, and this is overall a fantastic track. Fan the Flame is another Princess Luna song. It's like he's addicted to Luna or something.
It's catchy and has a lot of Prince Whatever's staple sounds.
Elemental is an ode to the main six. The hooks surrounding the lyrics of really draw me into it. And although I consider the production a downgrade, it's still a fucking fantastic song. I love the rhyming as well. All the words that rhyme with the word elemental and using those words to describe the main six is, in my opinion, absolute genius. Ghost in the Sun has this plucked thing in the beginning and I fucking love it. The guitars have this stop-start energy and the violins help a ton. This song actually seems to take the perspective of Princess Celestia before the events of Friendship is Magic Parts 1 and 2, although I could be wrong there. This song is called Ghost in the Sun after all. Prince Whatever is my favorite Brony musician. Whenever I was first checking out his stuff, I had no idea the level of quality I was expecting. This dude knows how to play the fucking guitar. His voice is fantastic, his screams are excellent, and I hope he never stops because call me a fan, I'll listen to every damn album this dude puts out. Obviously, if you're not a brony, then you might not gravitate much towards Prince Whatever as much as I did, and if you hate metalcore, then dear God, stay away. But if you're a brony and you love metalcore, then put on some Prince Whatever albums and jam the fuck out. Thank you for watching. Prince Whatever, please reissue Reimagine on CD, and please don't subscribe. We're in this together! Oh god.
Disclaimer: mild showings of blood and violence. If you hate that shit, then go away.
Hello everyone. Ugh. My name is Blue Rain. There are multiple factors to creating a timeless piece of music. However, the big ones are these. Your song needs to be memorable. Your song needs to be recognizable. It needs to be something that crowds of people immediately know after the first few seconds of it playing. It's something that almost every musician has dreamed of, having just that one song that everyone knows. But tell me, how many musicians have had multiple? Obviously many. People know the big singles from bands like the Beatles, Nirvana, Coldplay, etc. However, in a music scene like the Brony one, who has multiple songs that are instantly recognizable after the first few seconds of one playing? I introduce you to Glaze, or Wooden Toaster. Just for convenience sake, for the rest of this video, I will be calling him Wooden Toaster. I usually name him as Glaze Wooden Toaster because Glaze is apparently his preferred name, but for this video, I will refer to him as Wooden Toaster. Wooden Toaster is many things. He's British, an artist, and an electronic musician. He began his channel on April 3rd, 2008. It is unknown what his very first upload is. He might have pulled a me and unlisted all of his older content. But the earliest video we have definitive proof of is an unlisted video entitled That. I don't feel like reading that title. It was released on May 6th, 2011. The video is simply a remix of this very popular scene from the show with this song. Again, I don't feel like reading its title. Very straightforward, and actually has 2.3 million views. The video was unlisted for unknown reasons. If there actually is a reason, then let me know in the comments below. On May 28th, Wooden Toaster put out Pinky's Lie, a piece of electronic music using sampled bits of Pinkie Pie dialogue from the show as its vocals. It sounds like a sea shanty. Take a quick listen. While I find the instrumental catchy, I don't really gravitate towards this style of vocal delivery. I much prefer if a vocalist sings lyrics about the show. That's where I stand at least. So the order in which I talk about these songs are based on when they were uploaded to Wooden Toaster's YouTube channel. So if I get the order wrong, then whatever, sue me, I don't care. But the next song we're talking about is famed but infamous. This song ignited something in the community when it dropped. I'm of course talking about Rainbow Factory. In my opinion, Wooden Toaster's first big splash. If you caught this video, then you already know my thoughts and shit on the song, but I'm gonna repeat myself because I don't care. Rainbow Factory started its life as an entry to the 6th Toast Beard competition. The song was conceived due to the theme of the said competition, which asks this very simple question: where do rainbows really come from? An unknown number of days and a movie called Beyond Reanimator later, Wooden Toaster gave us Rainbow Factory, a sinister electronic song about the secrets and horrors of Cloudsdale. When I say and a movie called Beyond Reanimator, I mean it. Take a listen to its opening theme and then take a little listen to Rainbow Factory. The DNA is right there. I gave my thoughts on the production of Rainbow Factory in this same video, but I'm gonna say it again. It sounds fucking excellent. However, I am referring to the version that was released on streaming platforms in 2020. I don't know if the 2011 upload holds up to that quality, but whatever, it still sounds excellent. The lyrics don't really suggest any kind of bloodshed or murder, but the community latched on to that idea. Rainbow Factory quickly became one of the most popular songs in the still pretty new Brony community. Fanfiction was written and art was produced, giving this lyrically vague song a fleshed out story. You might have seen these two animated videos using the song. The whole song is so industrial. It makes you imagine that you're in the factory yourself, either as a worker or as someone who's about to lose their life in the dreaded machines, forced to give up your entire being and existence up to that point to the Pegasus device. Why? For rainbows. For fucking rainbows. In rainbows. One of my favorite bits in the whole song has to be the string solo. It lasts for about a minute and adds to the tension and fear in the air, and that fade out is awesome. It cuts all instrumentation and just has Wooden Toaster's processed and robotic voice calling out in an echo.
Factory, where your fears and hearts come true.
Rainbow Factory is influential, immediately recognizable with those intro pianos, and a certified classic in the Brony music scene. Wooden Toaster's first true achievement. So Rainbow Factory was Wooden Toaster's submission to the 6th Toastbeard competition. And it didn't win. What the fuck, dude? However, when the 11th one came around, Wooden Toaster got to work. The theme for this one was Best Pony, and while multiple people have very strong opinions on who the best pony is, Wooden Toaster's favorite pony is Carrot Top, or Golden Harvest. Soon enough, Wooden Toaster would begin forging his new track. Beyond Your Garden starts off with the simple but instantly recognizable synth line, and after a quick verse by Wooden Toaster, it adds the drums and a very hopeful melody. In fact, the original title for this video was Wooden Toaster, Mastery of Melody. As I said before, the lyrics center around Carrot Top, giving her hope in times where it seems like nothing will go her way. She tries her best, but doesn't succeed.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
Fuck, wrong song. She tries her best, but it's not quite there. The instrumental passages that come right before the chorus are absolutely fantastic, bringing in this rapid synth lead over an almost desperate sounding rhythm section. The chorus is sung in a pretty quick flow, with excellent rhyming and Wooden Toaster's classic robotic process singing voice. I also want to mention the vocal chops and the harmonies. Can we get some appreciation for those? Beyond Your Garden is another slam dunk for Wooden Toaster. It's catchy, quick, and even a little bit influential. The song would inspire this animation by Animated James and would be referenced in Prince Whatever's song Between Fairy Tales and Happy Endings just a year later. Definitely another certified classic in the Wooden Toaster canon. After Beyond Her Garden, in the same year as that song in Rainbow Factory, I swear to God, this dude was a workaholic. Wooden Toaster would team up with a collaborator to give the whole community an iconic song to blast during Halloween. Or should I say, Nightmare Night. That's right, Nightmare Night featuring Mike the Microphone, aka the only Brony rap song I can tolerate. This song chronicles the Equestria variant of Halloween, known as Nightmare Night, and the fear that Nightmare Moon instills upon all the fillies and colts. A reoccurring theme here, but the intro piano is instantly recognizable. Play that shit with a crowd of bronies and expect them all to begin rapping Mike the Microphone's verses. Is it just me, or does the way that Wooden Toaster sing the chorus, really satisfying? Here, I'll play the whole chorus real quick. Does anyone else get that feeling when you hear it? Of course, we can't go without appreciation for Mike the Microphone's verses. I have no clue if Wooden Toaster wrote them or if Mike wrote them, but the rhyming is cool and the flow is pretty good too. Also, I really like the way he raps the line, "She's not a nightmare no more."
She has been stuck on the move, but that's no reason to fret. She's not a nightmare no more, so buckle down and get set.
I couldn't find much information on Nightmare Night, but what I can tell you is that the little solos at the near beginning and the ending of the song are fucking fantastic. Other than that, this is another absolute classic from Wooden Toaster. Can you sense a theme here? We enter 2012, and immediately we have some notches under the Brony music belt. The song Discord by Eurobeat Brony is remixed by The Living Tombstone, Lullaby for a Princess by Ponyphonic is released, and so is Loyalty by Acoustamando Brony and Between Fairy Tales and Happy Endings by Prince Whatever. Wooden Toaster was coming off of 2011, an absolutely amazing year. The tracks he put out during that time became instant classics and led to Wooden Toaster becoming a revered name in the community. So what did Wooden Toaster do in 2012? He put out, in my opinion, his best song, with a little bit of help from Hateseed. No matter how many times the song comes up in my Spotify shuffle, that minimalist intro exploding into that melody never ceases to give me goosebumps. Awoken is meant as a spiritual successor to Rainbow Factory. It tells the tale of a factory worker who's fed up with the procedures in place in order to facilitate the creation of rainbows. Songwriting and lyrics this time were mainly done by Hateseed, who does most of the lead vocals on this track, and Wooden Toaster, of course, creates another banger instrumental track for it, and also lends some vocals for the chorus. I absolutely love Hateseed's vocal performance. It works in tandem with the song extremely well, and the lyrics he penned for the track are absolutely excellent. Sometimes I do wish Wooden Toaster had more of a vocal presence on this track, however. His trademark robotic voice only shows up for the chorus. Although, I can't be that mad, as I find the way he sings that part very satisfying. You've probably seen the PMV done for this song by Brony Dance Party. That PMV captures this song perfectly. The desire to escape and the misery felt within the walls of the factory. Also, the very end of the PMV is just disheartening. I have multiple parts proclaimed as my favorite bit from this song, but I'll spare you that and only leave you with two. I've said this before, but the intro into the chorus is catchy and adds this kind of movement to the song. I'm a sucker for vocal chops. Take a quick listen. After the second chorus, we get one of the greatest things ever played for a fucking Brony song. It's the fucking amazing synth solo. Seriously, Toaster did not have to go that hard for the damn solo. This is one of the reasons why Awoken is Wooden Toaster's best track in my eyes. Take a quick listen. It's like the entire song was building up to that solo, and it was damn worth it. Awoken is the best song Wooden Toaster ever put his name to, in my opinion, and the contributions from Hateseed cannot and should not go unnoticed. If it wasn't for Hateseed, we wouldn't have this absolute fucking banger of a song. Another stone cold classic given to the scene by Wooden Toaster. Thanks for the help, Hateseed! Real quick, let's talk about two songs by Wooden Toaster that I think should get more recognition than they get. Heartmender is a nice little change of pace from the usual Wooden Toaster sound. The 2-minute track seems to provide hope to an unknown entity. The melody used is very pleasant, and I really like the lyrics. Wooden Toaster actually describes this track as, quote, just a bit of something while I try to get back into the swing of things. It's a nice, short, and hopeful tune. Take a listen. Help Us is the complete opposite of Heartmender. It's a piano and violin-based piece that seems to convey a message of sadness due to the absence of somebody important. Like Heartmender, it's only about 2 minutes, but the emotion felt in the track is there.
Are you leaving me again in the dead of night?
Yeah, if you look at the plays and views that these songs have, then you can probably see why I consider them underrated. They might not be the most Brony songs out there, but does that matter? The point is that they're great songs either way, and you should go listen to them. The last song that Wooden Toaster has put out that could be classified under the Brony tag is Prototype VIP. Wooden Toaster has stated that it's somewhat related to Awoken. On my first listen of the song, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but after revisiting it for this video, I grew to like it. I think I got more used to the heavier robotic voices after listening to Enemy Undefined by Prince Whatever. Vocal modulation can make me enjoy a song less, but some people manage to pull it off. Wooden Toaster is one of the biggest examples of that, because while Prototype VIP is full of vocal modulation, it fits with the song's concept of basically becoming an android. A paranoid android. In 2017, Wooden Toaster went ahead and released a ton of his songs on the streaming platforms. These songs would make up his self-titled album and includes most of his original Brony songs, a Terraria song, Heartmender, Help Us, Prototype VIP, and multiple instrumental tracks. However, one song that's missing from the self-titled album is Rainbow Factory. Never fear, however, because Rainbow Factory got its own standalone single release on streaming platforms in 2020. Wooden Toaster's latest upload to his YouTube channel was on June 7th, 2019 with Settle for Less, which is actually under the Glaze name. If he will continue to make Brony music is currently unknown. However, he is still somewhat active on Twitter and retains the Wooden Toaster name and even his original character over there. I think the reason that Wooden Toaster's earlier songs are timeless is because of the novelty of them. There wasn't really anything like Wooden Toaster's sound in the early times of the Brony music scene. Of course, if I'm wrong, then let me know. Wooden Toaster proved to be a catalyst for this fantastic music community. His songs still hold a legacy to this day, as many Bronies continue to talk about, listen to, and cover his music to this day. Alright, that's going to be it for this installment of the Brony Musician Analysis. I'm having a lot of fun scripting and making these videos. In fact, just for fun, I've decided to link the script I read from for this video in the description. I'll also throw in the Prince Whatever BMA script down there as well. I'll do this for subsequent BMA videos and maybe even other random videos in the future. Thank you for watching. Wooden Toaster, you are a legend for a reason, and please don't subscribe. Carrot Top, go beyond us!
I wrote this script intentionally to not have swear words. You better be happy, Forever Free Brony. Also, this video takes inspiration from Mike the Snare's excellent series, Deep Discog Dive. Go check that out, it's really cool.
Hello everyone, my name is Blue Rain. The music album is a beautiful thing. A collection of songs, dash in some big hits here and there, and boom, an album. The album can be many things. A compilation, a greatest hits, a concept album. The album is truly a beautiful thing. Now tell me, how many albums do some of your favorite artists / bands have? I'll answer first. Fall Out Boy, my favorite band of all time, currently has a total of 7 albums. Coldplay, one of my top 10 favorite bands, has 9 albums. Pink Floyd has a ton of albums, but people only really care about these 4. Maybe these 5. Now I ask you a similar question. Can you name a Brony musician who has released more than 3 albums? Sorry, Prince. You might have had a bit of a hard time coming up with that answer. Prince Whatever has a total of 3 albums, but only 2 of them are on streaming platforms. Glazed Wooden Toaster has 1 album that only has a few Brony songs on it. Black and Blue hasn't put out an album yet.
Put out an album, my guy!
And while Immortal by Black Gryphon and Basic is an excellent album, Black Gryphon isn't really 100% a Brony musician. You might be asking me now, Blue Rain, what the hell does this have to do with anything? It's because there is a Brony musician out there who has released multiple albums. I introduce you to Forever Free Brony. Garrison Ulrich, more known on the internet as Forever Free Brony, is a Brony multi-instrumentalist and singer-songwriter based in Washington State. I'd say the genre he does the most is soft rock, but you'll hear other stuff like electronic, rock, and medieval? We'll get there, trust me. He has a soft, mellow voice and usually ties everyday life stuff with My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Forever Free Brony started his YouTube channel on March 27th of 2013, and about a week and a half later he uploaded what I assume to be his first upload and his first MLP song, Bird Song. I haven't listened to this one actually. I guess I'm a fake fan. From there, we get some random tracks here and there that will be seen on future records, so I'm not going to talk about them yet. Actually, doing research for this installment of the Brony Musician Analysis was somewhat difficult. There was conflicting information on what his first album is, and I had no idea what parameters I should have been going by. So here's the rules that I'm putting in place. I will only be talking about albums under the Forever Free Brony name, not the Garrison Ulrich name. And I will be taking the order of these albums from major streaming platforms and Bandcamp. So sorry, Garrison. The stuff that you put out under your actual name is probably really good. I just really wanted to make this video, so I only really listen to stuff under the Forever Free Brony name. With that being said, let's fast forward a little bit to 2014, and the first album we're talking about is, well, I think Garrison Ulrich took over the role of Roger Waters for this one.
Yeah, Roger Waters? You're in your, late 70s. Are you sure you want to make another concept album? Garrison Ulrich! What the hell is this? Where's the ponies? There's literally a rainbow on the front cover. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna make my own version of this, and I'm gonna call it The Pink Side of the Moon. What do you think? What do you think? What have you done with Roger Waters?
On July 23rd, 2014, Forever Free Brony released The Pink Side of the Moon, a concept album about Pinkie Pie losing all faith in Ponyville and her friends and setting off for the moon. This album was a massive project, combining the talents of 26 people and creating a masterpiece. I'm talking about both the 2014 version and the 2018 remaster, by the way. Yeah, The Pink Side of the Moon is a masterpiece. If I may, I want to try breaking down the story. Basically, Pinkie Pie loses all faith in her hometown and her friends and flies off to the moon to escape them. She's having an absolute blast on the moon, really making it her own because nobody rocks the moon like Pinkie. However, soon enough, she begins to regret her decision. She starts missing social contact and simply sharing air to breathe. All seems hopeless, but the Pony Villains send a message to Pinkie Pie basically saying, "We don't know what happened, but we still love you no matter what." And this puts faith back into Pinkie Pie. Then, Princess Luna comes and tells Pinkie Pie that the moon is no place for her. Finally, Pinkie Pie returns to Ponyville proclaiming that all I need is right here. If I got any of that wrong, then let me know. I love that concept so much, and this album is fantastic. Props to everyone who worked on it. 5 out of 5 for this fantastic record, and it gets a certificate of perfection, meaning that every single song on the album is in my playlist. Definitely the strongest start we could have to this video. On November 16th, 2016, Forever Free Brony released Hoping, a much more melancholic album that seems to revolve around Twilight Sparkle and themes of death and remembrance. Unlike the last record, Hoping didn't really catch my ear that much, but that's not to say there's not good songs on it. Stay gets emotional with its lyrical content, Bound with Time has this cool synth lead in it, the title track, Hoping, is beautiful, Back to You brings back the soft rock sound, and Carry On brings encouragement to the listener. Other than that, yeah, this record didn't reel me in much. Not sure why though, it's a perfectly fine record. I gave it a 4 out of 5 certified solid rating after listening to it. Yeah, that's about all I can say for Hoping, and I think that mentality might carry over to the next album we talk about. On August 19th, 2017, Forever Free Brony released Silhouette Games, an album dedicated to those who wish to chase their dreams but find it difficult, and also for the ones who are discovering who they are. Unfortunately, I didn't gravitate towards this one either. I think it's a fine record, yes, but there's just something about it that kind of led me astray. I can't really point out what exactly. Not to say that every song is terrible, no, not saying that at all. Silhouette features vocals from Black Griffin and is inspired by the episode Magical Mystery Cure. Great track. Just a Game is a nice track about the love between Shining Armor and Princess Cadence. I love the drums in the intro, and Chi Chi does great as always on the feature. And Three's a Team is a classic Cutie Mark Crusaders song. So yeah, I'm not head over heels for Silhouette Games, but that's just a personal thing. You go listen to it yourself and see what you think. Other than that, it's a 3 out of 5 for this one. Before we talk about this next album, I'm going to quickly mention that the Pink Side of the Moon remastered version came out on May 31st, 2018, and adds a new track right here. The remastered version is the one that I listen to because it's remastered, so it's better. That's how that works, right? On November 20th, 2018, Forever Free Brony took a ton of older tracks, did some modern magic, and gave us Emerald Eyes, an album all about the Apple family. This album, for me personally, is a great turnaround from the 4 out of 5 and 3 out of 5 that gave Hoping and Silhouette Games respectively, because this is a great record. The album takes more of a classic country sound to it, which fits with the entire image of the Apple family. The title track, Emerald Eyes, opens the record perfectly. Don't Run Away can actually get me emotional here and there. It's a song about Applejack leaving the orchard to move to the big city. Chasing Fate is a 7-minute epic. Desert of Wishes retells the Is Pinkie Pie part of the Apple family story, and Miracles is my favorite song off the album. Love Haymaker's vocal performance on it. Overall, while the album misses the certificate of perfection, it still receives a 5 out of 5 from me. A fantastic Brony country album. What's not to love? Fun fact, I actually almost missed this one because on Spotify, this one is under a different Forever Free Brony name. It has the E and the B capitalized for some reason. I don't get it. On February 25th, 2019, Forever Free Brony released The Highest Tower, an album all about the Royal Sisters. Well, mostly about Luna. While I like the ideas presented on this album, like the 2 instrumental pieces and the 2 songs, Light and Darkness, being halves of a whole, I didn't really latch onto this one. Believe me though, there are fantastic songs here. Who Knows is pretty comedic with its spoken word skit at the end, and it's overall very enjoyable. The Highest Tower is the best song off of the album, and has an incredible vocal performance from Ellie Monty. I hope I'm saying her name right. And Lullaby is tranquil. I do like Light and Darkness as well, although I found the separated versions unnecessary, but I like the idea that Forever Free Brony was going for. Overall, I'm sorry, but I have to give The Highest Tower a 3 out of 5. It's a perfectly fine album though, and if you adore it and hold it high, then more power to you. I simply won't be buying a CD of this one.
Thou art too old for this.
On Christmas Day 2019, Forever Free Brony released The Dreamer's Door, a collection of 6 chants about the main 6 that began all the way back in 2013 with Chant of Immortality, along with some extra tracks here and there. This is where that medieval sound comes in. I don't really know what to call its genre. All I can say is that all of the chants are excellent. Some of them sound like they belong on a sailboat in the 1600s. I also love the language used in them, very unique for Brony music, but it just works so well. Also, the concert version of Chant of Immortality is great, shout out to it. But the best thing on this album isn't even any of the chants. It's the finale track, Life Outside. This is Forever Free Brony's magnum opus. This is his best song. He describes it as a fandom anthem, similar to Solidarity and This Together by Prince Whatever, but it takes more of a classic rock approach, I'd say, with multiple people from the community pitching in vocals for the song, from the likes of Luna Jax, Aviators, P1K, Black Griffin, MemJ0123, DB Pony, Manta Subasa, and Prince Whatever. This is the masterpiece of Forever Free Brony, and that guitar medley containing bits from actual songs from the show gets me emotional every damn time. The Dreamer's Door is an easy 5 out of 5, even though it misses the certificate of perfection. Seriously, I did not expect Life Outside to be one of my top 5 favorite Brony songs. I'll do a list in the future of my top 50. Also, the chants are absolutely stunning and deserve love too. Remember that. Exactly 2 years after The Dreamer's Door dropped, Forever Free Brony released Lost and Found, a concept album about Best Pony Derpy Hooves and Doctor Hooves basically going on an epic adventure. This album stands as my favorite record from Forever Free Brony. It touches multiple genres like rock, folk, and electronic. Paradise is a perfect opener and features Forever Free Brony's wife, Cookie Dough. Rained Out is a rocker and is my personal favorite song off of the album. The Fall is new territory for Forever Free Brony as it dives deep into electronic sounds. I Wish I Could Stand on a Cloud is basically just Bill Wirtz ponified and it's perfect. And Tough Without You is quirky and fun, has a great guitar solo in there too. Apparently, this is another concept album as well, although around the time that As the Thunder Rolls By plays, I kind of lose track of where the concept is. But I don't really care about that. All I care about is 10 songs about Derpy and the Doctor.
Fantastic.
Lost and Found is my favorite album from Forever Free Brony. Easy 5 out of 5, and it earns a certificate of perfection. It's that damn good. Everyone put their all into this project, and it was well worth it. I want a CD of it.
So now I guess I can stand on a cloud.
Forever Free Brony is still active to this very day, releasing random music stuff on his YouTube channel like covers and the solos to some of his own songs. It's really cool to see how some of these solos were played. Open letter to Forever Free Brony, I would love to collaborate with you on a song. I don't have the most professional vocal recording equipment, but does that matter? I don't care what song you throw me on, I would kill to collaborate with you, man. Here's my resume. You know, if you need it. Forever Free Brony is my second favorite Brony musician, and I credit him with helping me dive even deeper into the amazing Brony music scene. Doing a deep Discog dive on Forever Free Brony was so much fun, and I'm extremely excited for his next full-length album. Thank you for watching. Forever Free Brony, I would love to collaborate with you, and please don't subscribe. What there is behind the dreamer's door. Hello everyone, my name is Blue Rain, and welcome to a bonus episode of the Brony Musician Analysis. Forever Free Brony is an extremely talented man, and the best thing that he's ever created and put his name on is the great collaboration track, Life Outside, which can be found on the album The Dreamer's Door. I gave my thoughts on the song and the album in this video if you caught it, but I came up with the idea to try and deconstruct and deeply analyze the 6-minute masterpiece from Forever Free Brony and all the fantastic collaborators who provide vocals to the track. This is Life Outside, the masterpiece of Forever Free Brony. Life Outside is a 6-minute rock song with some classic flair across it. It features short ambient sections, a total of 9 singing voices, a great piano-led instrumental, a guitar medley solo, and emotion pouring across it. It's one of the very few Brony songs that has the potential to get me to tear up.
Yo, Blue Rain, you okay?
I'm fine! Just leave me alone, alright? I can't tell what time signature it's in. It seems to switch between 4/4 and 6/8, though I can't say for certain. It runs at 107 beats per minute and it's in the key of A flat major, although I'm not 100% sure about that because the website I got this information off of is kinda sketch. The song is meant as an anthem for the entire community. I compared it to being thematically similar to Solidarity in This Together by Prince Whatever, but being much more chill and easy to listen to. The song comes across as triumphant and hopeful, with its lyrical themes detailing the land of Equestria, the Dreamer's Door itself, and arguably the most important characters featured in the show. We begin with these lyrics.
There's a world that should be real somewhere. There's a lack of tension and love to spare.
The world spoken about is obviously Equestria, the land where the ponies live and thrive. Minimal conflict arises and love flourishes because, as we all know, friendship is magic!
I would tell you that I'd been before. It was just behind the dreamer's door.
I'm not sure if Garrison Ulrich has been to Equestria himself though, but maybe it's an allusion to the escapism brought by watching the show. And the Dreamer's Door is the metaphorical magic doorway that brings people to the land of Equestria.
Painted hills and colored skies, a wondrous view that simply strikes the heart.
Luna Jax's line is all about the scenery and color of the entire show. It's pleasing to view and draws people in, wondering what they're going to experience.
There's one who holds the stars in place, another who keeps it all from falling apart.
Aviators comes in with his lines, which describe the royal sisters, Princess Celestia, who raises the sun, and Princess Luna, who raises the moon. Although I feel as if the lyrics here are interchangeable with the characters they represent, as I can't tell which one's for who. Stars in plays could mean the sun, so Celestia because the sun is a star, but it could also be about the stars of the night, so Luna. Who keeps it all from falling apart could reference the diplomatic responsibilities of Celestia, but it could also mean Luna raising the moon to keep harmony in Equestria, or maybe even Luna entering Pony's nightmares to end them. If the intent was to have it be ambiguous, then good job, because it worked.
The same routine runs every day, but that's just who they are.
P1K, or Pony 1 Kenobi, simply reinforces the routine the royal sisters go through each day and night, raising the sun and raising the moon, because it's what they're meant to do.
Life outside of the wall, I could say I dreamed it real one time. If at all, I could hardly tell you.
Black Griffin paints the image of a wall surrounding something, whether it be the life of a dreamer or our world itself.
Who's to know what you'll find, but it's there, I'm sure.
Then we get the perspective of someone who's already stepped through the Dreamer's Door, supposedly, telling an aspiring dreamer that
What you're looking for is just behind the dreamer's door.
that's just my theory at least.
There's one who works until sundown, another who sees the beauty in everyone.
MemJ0123 begins the second verse by describing the characters Applejack and Rarity. Applejack obviously works at Sweet Apple Acres for most of her time, and Rarity works multiple fashion places and indeed sees the beauty in all.
This one takes the sky to heart, the other one knows the best ways to have fun.
DB Pony describes the characters Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie. Rainbow Dash is commonly seen soaring fast across the sky, and Pinkie Pie is a party animal. Manta Tsubasa closes the verse by describing Fluttershy. I understand the quiet bit, but for the rest of the section, I'm honestly confused. I'm not really sure what Fluttershy is searching for. It could be the most obvious thing in the world and I'm just blind, but spare me, alright? I'm slow when it comes to things.
Open up, take a look, you will never believe it. Take a step, feel the air, cherish what you see.
Prince Whatever encourages the listener to step through the Dreamer's Door and experience the wonder that Equestria has to offer. After a quick fill, we get probably the best thing in the song, the guitar medley solo containing bits and pieces from actual songs from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. What I'll do is I'll play parts of the melody, and right after I'll play the original song as kind of a comparison thing. I'll include the names too.
thread by thread, stitching it together. Twilight stress, cutting out the pattern snip by snip. We're apples forever, apples together. We're family, but so much more. And I'll fly into the end of the sky. A true, true friend helps a friend in need. A friend will be there to help you see. Pinky, you gotta stand up tall. Learn to face your fears. Winter wrap up. Let's finish our holiday cheer. Bouncy, what we gonna do? Got a bully on our tail, gotta hide, we gotta fail. The gala with the princess is where I'm going to be. We will talk all about magic and what I've learned and seen. We are the Cutie Mark Crusaders on a quest to find out who we are. And we will never stop the journey, not until we have our cutie marks. I have to find a way to make this all okay. I can't believe this small mistake could have caused so much heartache. I used to wonder what friendship could be, until you all shared its magic with me.
After the guitar medley, we get outdoor ambience with birds chirping about and water rushing further away.
There's a girl who wants to do her best. Till she has it, she won't stop or rest. Doesn't know just what there is in store, what there is behind the dreamer's door.
Forever Free Brony closes out the vocals by describing who was missing from the verses: Twilight Sparkle. It references Twilight's work ethic and the desire to always go 110%. Although the ending lyrics seem to imply that the Dreamer's Door is something that the ponies also know about and maybe even use in their world, but that's just theorizing. Of course, if I got any information incorrect with the song's description, its instrumental, or its lyrics, then let me know in a civilized manner in the comments below. Life Outside is the masterpiece of Forever Free Brony. It's his best song in my opinion, and I congratulate everyone who worked on or even just laid a finger on this project. It's stunning. This track is a culmination of 9 years of this incredible community. Wish I wasn't gone for 7 of them. It's a simple ode about what brought us all together. A common passion for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Everything from the show's scenery, to its characters, to the memories people made in its community. If you haven't heard this track already, then you are missing out. What the hell are you doing? Click off this video now and go listen to Life Outside. And while you're at it, listen to the entire album of The Dreamer's Door. Hell, go do a deep discog dive of Forever Free Brony. It's absolutely worth it. I want to thank all of the collaborators: Luna Jax, Aviators, P1K, Black Griffin, MemJ0123, DB Pony, Manta Subasa, and Prince Whatever for featuring on this amazing song. You all did excellent with your vocals and really gave the song what it needed. I wish to personally thank Garrison Ulrich, the man behind Forever Free Brony, for putting this track together and getting all of these amazing people to make their mark on this incredible song. The song wouldn't be the same without them, and the community wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you for watching this bonus episode of the Brony Musician Analysis, and please don't subscribe. This is where the analysis starts. Hello everyone! My name is Blue Rain. Quick! In 3 seconds, name as many Brony metal artists you can think of. 1, 2, 3, 5. It's scientifically proven that the first name you thought of was Prince Whatever, and that's okay. Prince Whatever is an excellent Brony musician, and I even own his album Reimagined on CD, signed and all. But what about the other ones? Well, there's Melody Brony, Black and Blue, Biscuit, Divinia Biscuit? That sounds so unassuming, but oh, you'd be surprised. I introduce you to Biscuit. Hailing from the UK, another British artist on the BMA? Biscuit is a Brony and furry metalcore musician. He's actually been a drummer for a while before finally releasing solo music, but he's been playing guitar for 11 years beforehand. He also follows me on Twitter. Why? His sound consists of metalcore with some death metal and deathcore elements, along with some electronics here and there. He started his YouTube channel in 2013, but seemingly didn't upload content until 2021, where he shows off a bass guitar. Again, if that's not his first upload, then let me know. He then has a video where he plays more bass, but after that comes his cover of Eyeless by Slipknot. Wait, no. Sombra featuring Bree Bree? I have no clue which one came first, but let's take a listen to Sombra. I'm not sure I'm gonna come back to that one. The instrumental is cool, but the guitars have a bit too much high end for me, and Biscuit's vocals are my favorite thing in the world. Still a good start. We also get a cover of Deftones' Be Quiet and Drive Far Away. I haven't heard it as I'm not a big fan of the album Around the Fur or the band as a whole yet. Don't kill me! But it all has its place on the road of Biscuit, and we will see it peak soon enough. Alright, this is where the good bit starts. We're entering 2022. For starters, we have Keeping Secrets, a standalone aggressive pop single where Biscuit just goes all out on somebody that ruined him. I like the concept, but I'm not a big fan of the track, not my style, you know. But then, we get some singles that span across February to July, along with a Type O negative cover in June. That's right. Biscuit is about to show us all where the good bit starts. For starters, that album cover is amazing. I love it. The debut full-length record by Biscuit, entitled This Is Where the Good Bit Starts, is a record full of absolute chaos, but it does it really well. Something I'd like to say is that the production on this album might take some getting used to. I definitely had to get used to it, but once I did, I was able to appreciate the chaos that Biscuit brings to this album. The riffs jam and the breakdowns are excellent. Pay Your Penance starts with some excellent electronics before plunging into a story about the atrocities of Sprout in Generation 5. Pass on the Torch is a fandom anthem that features Prince Whatever. It's really catchy. Sad to See You Go is about the loss of Sunny Starscout's father. Lord of Chaos, I can only assume, is about the Lord of Chaos Discord. And there's also a cover of Prince Whatever's first Brony song, Rainbow Thrash, on there. It's a really good cover, and it's really the only way to listen to that song on streaming platforms, as Prince Whatever hasn't released Rainbow Thrash on streaming platforms yet.
This is where the good bit starts.
But the absolute highlight from this record is the second single released for it, the spectacular The Air That You and I Breathe Is Not the Same. This song takes the classic narrative of Princess Luna's disdain for her banishment by Princess Celestia and does fantastic with it. Biscuit's screams during the breakdown are killer, and the riffs across the entire song are excellent. Plus, the electronics add a great flair to the song. This was the first Biscuit song I got into after learning to love his production work. This Is Where the Good Bit Starts lives up to its name. While the production takes warming up to, it's absolutely worth it. It reminds me of when I was first getting into the Strokes, and Is This It was a head scratcher for me. Look at me now. One more thing to mention, and it doesn't involve the album, is that Bizkit earned a spot on the Ponies at Dawn compilation record Wanderlust with How Far We've Gone in December. It's a cool song and it sounds really good. The most recent single out by the time of this video is Leave Again, an angry tune about toxic relationships. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've heard snippets and it's really cool. During HarmonyCon 2023, Bizkit had a set as part of the British Rodeo, which included names like Prince Whatever, Black and Blue, and Melody Brony. From what I've heard and seen, Bizkit absolutely killed it on stage. I even heard that the whole crowd got on their knees and just started chanting his name. That's how you know. He even got a mosh pit going for his performance of The Air That You and I Breathe Is Not the Same. God, I wish I could have gone to HarmonyCon. It looked like so much fucking fun. If anybody wants to see me at a con in the future, let me know, because it's probably never gonna happen. Bizkit is absolutely fantastic, and I'll be following his music from here on out to see what he does next. He truly has a style he can call his own, and I'd collaborate with him. Nah, I'm kidding. Hey Bizkit, a few things. First off, yes, I am saying hi to you every time I tweet out Hey Bizkit on Twitter. Second, the lyrics, please. Probably only you would get this. Third, and do you have any plans on releasing This Is Where the Good Bit Starts onto physical music platforms like a CD? Because I would love to own the album on CD. I think that would be cool. Alright, that's it for this episode of the Brony Musician Analysis. This is where the analysis ends, unfortunately. I have some videos planned, and I have some new Brony music out on the music channel. If you guys are interested, I'll leave a link below. Thank you for watching. Rock the fuck on, Bizkit. And please don't subscribe. The air that you and I breathe is not the same! Hello everyone, my name is Blue Rain. I'm gonna show you some of BuzzFeed's picks for iconic dynamic duos. There's some good ones here. SpongeBob and Patrick, Sherlock and Watson, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, John Lennon and Paul McCartney. The concept of the dynamic duo is really fascinating and interesting to me. Two people or characters who simply won by working together. Now, as per usual with the series, let's throw in the monkey wrench. I meant Brony wrench as I ask you this question. Who makes up the Brony music scene's dynamic duo? Most of them are solo artists, and I've only talked about solo artists on this series so far. Bands do exist, trust me, but I'm looking for a musical equivalent of like 21 Pilots, just without the depressing rapping. Something that's brighter, more triumphant, and more fun. How about the duo where one of the guys in it led me to discover my second favorite band, Bring Me the Horizon? I introduce you to Black Griffin and Basic. We have two stories to tell, so let us begin. Gabriel Brown, or Black Griffin, is a jack of many trades. He's a YouTuber, a voice actor, a singer-songwriter, producer, animator, and even a US Navy veteran. You've probably seen his video where he impersonates 54 singers. It's a great video that's racked up over 100 million views, and even was one of two videos that led me to become a fan of the band Bring Me the Horizon. I was shocked when I first discovered this, but he is or was a Brony, I'm not really sure, being the one behind the Licious series of short animations, and even having backup vocals in an official song from the show. Maybe more if I don't know. He started his YouTube channel on September 12th, 2007, and the first upload to the channel is on that exact day, with a video about Alaska? My home is getting recognition. It's a photo and video compilation that apparently won an award, and it's pretty cool too. After that, the channel was primarily used for random stuff here and there. It wasn't until April 1st, 2011, or September 25th, 2011, it's a re-upload, where we got what I'm assuming to be the first MLP upload to the channel, April Fools! It's Black Griffin's first Flash animation, of which he would go on to do more of, such as An Unexpected Visit from Pinkie Pie, Vinyl Scratch Takes Off Her Glasses, and the aforementioned Licious series of animations. All of these videos I've mentioned are certified classics, by the way. There was also some music, like Dash Step, a remix of At the Gala, and Pearl? I don't know how to say that correctly. However, if we want to talk about music, then we also need to talk about Gabriel Brown's brother. Nathaniel Brown, or Basic, is a singer-songwriter, producer, multi-instrumentalist, a US Navy veteran, and a fighter pilot. He usually handles the production work of the music while Black Griffin provides vocals, although Basic's voice does get to shine. He started his YouTube channel on November 4th, 2011, and about 11 days later, he uploaded his first song under the name Basic, entitled A Glitch-Based Song. After that, it's music and some miscellaneous uploads here and there, but in 2013, we did get the release of his album Evacuate, and I haven't listened to it yet. It's a similar situation to This Is Where the Good Bit Starts by Biscuit for me. When I'm listening to new music, I need to have the lyrics in front of me. Completely a personal thing. I just like to know what I'm hearing so I can memorize it and not have to come back to them in the future. Of course, there's exceptions. I listened to that Biscuit album without the lyrics, and I might listen to Evacuate without them too. But Basic, if you're watching this video, is there any way I can have those lyrics, please? If you can't provide, that's perfectly okay. I can manage. Anyway, from what I've sampled from Evacuate, it sounds like a chill EDM album that's pleasant to listen to. Of course, I could be wrong, but I just haven't heard it yet. Call me a fake fan. The brothers have been making music since 2000. The age of nu metal and Coldplay beginning their world domination. They used to go by GPT, Just Passing Through, but I couldn't really find anything about that whole thing. So the music continued, singles and remixes and ponies galore, and from 2013 to 2014, Black Griffin and Basic put their heads together once again and created one of the greatest Brony albums ever put to tape. Great minds think alike, and Immortal is living proof of this. With sounds of electronics, acoustics, and a great set of lyrics, Immortal takes wins in almost every direction. Basic's production shines with electronics, while also introducing some other elements, like guitars and those dubstep drop sounds. While I do classify Immortal as a Brony album, not every song on it is inspired by the show, but that's okay, because the ones that don't are still great songs. Alright, you're gonna recognize a majority of these songs from my top 50 Brony songs list, but here we go. Faster Than You Know is a song about Twilight Sparkle becoming an alicorn and the thoughts that race across her head because of it. Fun fact, I referenced this song's name in the lyrics of my own song, If You Need Me. Quest, This Can't Be All, details Spike's perspective on the dragon migration. Tell Me is an optimistic Dirt Behooves song, and I love it. Set in Stone is a Discord song. I love the vocal chops in the chorus, and the chorus itself is really catchy. Academy has this almost grungy sounding guitar lick in its verses, and the song itself is about training for the military. Taking Off is pure ear candy with its instrumental chorus, I'll always bring it up, and Zero Gravity featuring Michelle Creber, the voice of Apple Bloom, is catchy and fun. While I can't really highlight a specific song from this record with its own section because it doesn't have a proper music video, I think, I can still talk about it here. Crusader Are We There Yet is probably one of the most popular Brony songs out there, check those Spotify plays. It's a classic song about the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and it's such a pleasant listen, with optimistic synths and bright acoustic guitars. Also, Basic gets to sing on it, and his voice is absolutely incredible, I love it. Immortal is one of the best Brony albums of all time. For me, it's up there with records like Lost and Found and Reimagined. Classic songs line the record, and if you cue it up, expect an extremely pleasant and well-rounded listen. A common Black Griffin and Basic W. The later years have been extremely kind to the brothers. In 2015, they released Fighting Back, a song about Rainbow Dash, and one of my top 50 Brony songs. It's also a part of the 2016 album Getting Stronger, which Michelle Creber did with Black Griffin and Basic. I haven't heard it yet, but trust me, I will. In 2019, Black Griffin uploaded a video where he impersonates 54 singing voices, and it blew the fuck up. 138 million views. This video is very special to me because it's one of 2 YouTube videos that led me to discover the band Bring Me the Horizon, which are now immortalized as my second favorite band of all time. I also vividly remember first discovering Black Griffin is or was a Brony. I was flicking through a Brony playlist trying to find Brony music because that's how I usually find them, and I found Crusader Are We There Yet, and the artist's name looks so familiar. I come to find out it's because this and this are the same fucking guy. I was absolutely floored. Also, in 2019, Black Griffin and Basic released Diamond, their second album together. I haven't listened to it though, so I can't say much about it. In 2020, Black Griffin provided vocals for the chorus of the third best Brony song of all time, Life Outside by Forever Free Brony and a ton of other people. It's good to know that he still has ties to the community, and those vocals are stunning, an excellent part for an incredible song. In 2022, the brothers appeared on America's Got Talent, which is fucking insane and mind-blowing, and I'm so proud of them. They performed some songs and character impressions, and it's really, really impressive. It's also mind-blowing. Have I mentioned that yet? Black Griffin's strength as a vocalist and an impressionist shines throughout his entire presence. I adore his singing voice. Basic's production is absolutely fantastic, and although his brother is usually in the limelight, I encourage you to check out more of Basic's work. It's really fucking good. Alright, that's it for this episode of the Brony Musician Analysis. Thank you for watching, and please don't subscribe. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Hello everyone, my name is Blue Rain. I'll be doing a top 25 favorite albums sometime in the future. However, spoiler alert, Prince Whatever's excellent album Reimagine is actually somewhere on that list. Reimagine prides itself in its ability to sharpen past tracks, tell intriguing stories, and deliver riff after riff after riff after riff after riff. Following my very first listen of Reimagine, I knew it was somewhere in my top 25 favorite albums of all time. Seeing as metalcore is my second favorite music genre, with first and third being pop punk and post-hardcore respectively, Reimagine basically blends my top 3 absolute favorite music genres and puts a My Little Pony bow on it. Songs like Solidarity, In This Together, Are You There, and Not Letting Go showcase the more melodic and emotional points that Prince Whatever can hit, and songs like Destabilize and Betrayer bring the heavy out for some big headbanger moments. However, Reimagine contains a 4-part story within it. A story of battle, suffering, and retribution. This is R4, Reimagine's Changeling War. Yeah, apparently I've been calling these tracks wrong the entire time. It's R4, not the 4 R's. I am a fake Prince Whatever fan. Also, this video was meant to be made in February. R4 is made up of 4 tracks that transition into each other from start to finish. These songs take up slots 6 through 9 of the album's track list. Nice. The primary genre I'm going to label it is metalcore, but there's big elements of post-hardcore across it, with screams, breakdowns, and riffs. It's got the whole package. Altogether, these songs total to a length of 15 minutes and 23 seconds. These songs demand that you listen to them in order. If you're flicking through Shuffle on Spotify and the first part comes on, you better fucking turn off Shuffle and listen to the rest. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Each of these songs combined tell one story. If you look at the parentheses on each title, you can get an idea on what part of the story each song tells. The story itself is about the invasion of a changeling army and a war-torn Celestia fighting back against Chrysalis, who, well, we'll get to it in the next section. It's an epic story, albeit headcanon, but hey, some of the best stories are headcanon. Hell, I have my own headcanon story for these songs. Using a heavier style of music to tell this tale fits absolutely perfectly due to the intensity and just the feeling it gives off. And it adds to the absolute perfect juxtaposition of magical, colorful ponies and heavy instrumentation that Prince Whatever has mastered across the years. Along with Prince Whatever, some other people gave their hoof to help with this project, and those people were NRG Pony, Sable Symphony, Metalcore Pony, and Aiko. Thank you for helping shape these songs to perfection. R4 is a major highlight in the entirety of Reimagine, and I'm done beating around the bush. Let's analyze this story! The following takes place in an alternate universe following the finale of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 6. Light, echoey chimes begin our story, and we see an awakening Queen Chrysalis, who has seemingly forgotten some of her memories. She sees this past version of herself and wants to change. However, King Sombra appears from the forest behind and basically takes control of Chrysalis. I guess shallow naivety was too much for him to handle. He makes offers, saying that they could destroy their kingdoms, raise their own, citadels of black piercing the sky. In the end, it seems Sombra gets his way, because 8 years later, an army of changelings march towards Canterlot. Chrysalis has basically lost it. The invasion has begun, and the threat is intense. Across Reclamation the Invasion, you can hear radio chatter from various ponies who are in battle. It's a really cool effect and adds to the song massively. Props to the VAs. I don't know the other ponies that speak through the radio chatter, but I do know two of them, being Brayburn and Rainbow Dash. At this point, Chrysalis seems to be taunting the ponies, saying things like, battle continues, and it seems that Celestia is cornered, and here is where the solid lore kind of comes to an end. You see, I've been pulling this information from the music video, but only half of the music video is out, and that was 3 years ago. The last two parts haven't been released yet, and I don't know if they ever will. So from this point onward, we're gonna have to make some assumptions. If I get anything incorrect, let me know in a civilized manner down in the comments below. I don't know how long after the invasion this part takes place, but Reparation the Sorrow details the thoughts of Princess Celestia and the promises she makes to make sure Chrysalis pays for her actions. At this point in the story, Celestia is war-torn, but determined to continue fighting the good fight. She vows to make Chrysalis pay for what she has done, with some slightly disturbing imagery thrown out here and there. And the final battle comes in the form of the final part. Here we are once again, to the part where Celestia sends her army for retaliation against Chrysalis. She makes her presence known to her. The description of the bloody battle is fierce, as Celestia calls out the Shapeshifter. It's absolutely epic, the details of the fight, and the instrumental supports it immensely, with massive riffs and masterful use of electronics and screams. One of my favorite bits on this song comes after the little break at around the 3:38 mark. It's the sound of this little chiptune introductory segment that brings us to the outro of the song. Give it a listen. And the outro closes out the story on somewhat of a cliffhanger, not really resolving everything, but leaving the results of the battle up to the listener. And that concludes the story told by R4. My praise for Reimagine still stands strong, and I think it will forever. R4 is a major highlight from the entire record. It uses heavy instrumentation to support a story of warfare, and the music videos help accentuate the story even further by giving it visuals. I don't know if the other half of the music video will be put out because it's been like 3 years since the first two parts. We'll just have to see. R4 continues to be one of the best things Reimagine has to offer. In fact, 2 parts of R4, Restoration and Retaliation, actually made it onto my top 50 Brony songs list. R4 is a testament to the abilities of Prince Whatever, the abilities to write an engaging story and also deliver headbanger after headbanger of a song. Of course, my bias is always in play whenever talking about Prince Whatever, as he's my favorite Brony musician, but I strongly encourage you to check out Prince Whatever, Reimagine, and the rest of his work if you haven't already. R4 is incredible, and is 100% worth your time. Thank you for watching this bonus episode of the Brony Musician Analysis, and please don't subscribe. Prince Whatever has a total of 3 albums, but only 2 of them are on streaming platforms. Glazed Wooden Toaster has 1 album that only has a few Brony songs on it. Black and Blue Hello everyone, my name is Blue, and I fucking love metal! Look at all these CDs I own, look at them! What can I say? I'm a metalhead. Metalcore, new metal, classic metal, thrash metal, I've heard many subgenres all over the map, and if you mix in a pony factor, well, I've heard all over that map too. You have the clean metalcore of Prince Whatever, the chaotic production of Biscuit, the sweet clean vocals of Melody Brony, the progressive sounds of Tarby. I also love songs like Mare in the Rain's Friendship Was Magic Reasons to Live, and a bit of Zephic music like Spitfire and Dear Letter. Hell, some Plum Creek rhythm section songs take some metal cues here and there. But a name is missing, so let's ask a question. What happens if you combine the sounds of nu metal, alternative metal, and metalcore, and add in that pony factor we all know and love? Well, I introduce you to Blackened Blue. Being yet another artist who resides in the UK on this video series, I don't know why some of the best Brony musicians are always British, but Blackened Blue is an alternative metal and nu metal Brony musician, specializing in riffs and vocals both screamed and sung. His tagline is horse music for horse people since 2014, but he started his YouTube channel on June 28th, 2015. Blackened Blue exposed! With possibly his first upload being a remix of Pink Amanda's Haunting in late July of the same year, which is actually done for a remix contest by Mr. AM. While it's not something I'd come back to recreationally, it's insane to hear the amount of potential this early on. But actually, that wasn't his first release, because while writing the first intro to the script, I found his old SoundCloud account, and supposedly, his first track is actually... Okay, well, in summary, the early years gave way to some more raw and aggressive tones, but the sound will be cleaned up in the years afterwards, so let's skip to those times. Actually, that's skipping over a lot of history, so just know that from 2014 to 2020, there were a lot of songs, and 5 of them came together to form Blackened Blue's debut EP. It's re-recordings of older tracks, but I don't think I'll be coming back to it, it didn't really hook me. After that, it's a fuck ton of singles and an acoustic EP called Tonewood. He also helped out some other Brony musicians with some of their songs. Prince Whatever commonly collaborates with him, and he's helped out with songs like Biscuit's cover of Be Quiet and Drive Far Away by Deftones, Sovereign, It Wasn't Nice Knowing You, and Horror Show by Melody Brony, and Tax of Vengeance by Grazdek. All great features. So Blackened Blue's been releasing singles and some EPs here and there for about 9 years. Crazy, right? Some of those songs made it onto my top 50 Brony songs list, which is now outdated, but I found some of Blackened Blue's earlier work kind of hard to listen to because of production. I'm only saying this because I'm a huge production nerd, and I only have the best interests in heart. But it really only led me to have about 5 or 6 Blackened Blue songs in my general playlist rotation. However, I did notice the production improving by the time I got into those songs. With better production brings an improved and updated sound on past tracks, so Blackened Blue took a ton of his tracks, gave them some touch-ups, and released his debut album, Sounds from the Shed.
I don't hear anything.
Sounds from the Shed is the long-awaited debut record from Blackened Blue, and I was hyped right from announcement, although I didn't jump for the CD because I wanted to hear the album first. I probably should have, though. Can I have copy, please? Sounds from the Shed is a damn journey. It's heavy, it's intense, but it also knows when to chill out for a bit. While the album pulls from many metal genres, for the sake of everything being easy, I'm going to refer to it as an alternative metal album. All you need is a song comparing these potions from Pony Life or something, I don't know, I never watched it, to alcoholism. Fall Apart is about the paths you can take, and it's excellent. Don't Hold Me Back Now details a fight between Queen Chrysalis and Princess Celestia. Absent Magic has a slow but intense build-up, great track. Another magical song is fucking crazy, I don't know whether to call it death metal or deathcore, and Wrath is the same way. The Road Less Traveled details a journey through the desert that feels like an eternity. Infliction is a song about Daybreaker, and it's actually a touch-up of a song featured on a Ponies at Dawn release. Night of the Brain Dead is a comedic and short rager about that one Trivia Trot episode, turning Twilight's perception of every pony around her into these mindless zombies that don't know as much as she does. I get System of a Down vibes from it. And the final 3 tracks are all covers. We have a cover of The Fight Inside by Prince Whatever, a cover of The Air That You and I Breathe Is Not the Same by Biscuit, which if you keep up with the show, then you know my unending praise for that song, and Finn by Melody Brony. Hey Melody Brony, do you want to put out a 5 out of 5 album so I can talk about you on the BMA? The last single to be released from this album was Everfree, a song about the titular Everfree Forest. How dare you rip off Torby! This song is one massive love letter to Linkin Park, especially their first two records. Black and Blue got some help from Gloomrot and Blitzy for the rap verses, which hit home that Linkin Park worship tenfold. Hell, I can make a list of comparisons I noticed, and I will right now.
All I know, time is a valuable thing.
Everfree is an excellent, excellent track. I was originally going to highlight my former favorite Black and Blue song, Fall Apart, but I think Everfree deserves that highlight. It's my favorite song from the record, it's masterfully crafted, and Gloomrot and Blitzy definitely helped give this song a more unique spot on Sounds from the Shed. A fantastic song. Overall, Sounds from the Shed is an easy 5 out of 5, and while I don't think I'll be coming back to the covers, it's still an awesome hour-long adventure with Black and Blue at the helm. Wonder if we have to wait another 9 years for another album. I guess we'll see. Sounds from the Shed is an incredible album. Black and Blue knows his shit when it comes to alternative metal. However, before the album was widely available, he went ahead and put out a single. It's a commission song actually, and it didn't make it onto Sounds from the Shed, probably because the track list was already finalized at this stage, which means that this song gets its own section in this video because, well, why don't we just discuss it? This is Wasted and Broken. In my opinion, Black and Blue's current best song. Easily in my top 10 Brony songs for me. Wasted and Broken is a 3-part, 6-minute metalcore rager. It retells the story of this little filly who, after years of abuse, lashes out and goes on a killing spree. This pony's name is Iron Sonata, an OC by Edico Philly, featured prominently in their fanfiction Full of the Wastes. You can read it on filmfiction.net if you'd like. This song is fucking amazing. The first part is a chill rock segment with plucks and hushed vocals from Blackened. The second part is full-on metalcore with Black and Blue's incredible screams, and the final part ties it all together with a not-so-happy ending. Iron Sonata's story and metalcore work like fucking peanut butter and jelly on a sandwich. It's so good. I want to say thank you to Edico Philly, I hope I'm saying that right, for commissioning this song because it's perfection! There's no other way to put it. This song's a complete 100% banger and is my current absolute favorite song from Black and Blue. Seriously, I envy to play guitar and scream like what he does on Wasted and Broken. Expect a bonus episode going through the song in the future because I will 100% be doing that. Fuck. Sounds from the Shed and Wasted and Broken is pretty much the later years. The most I can tell you is that Black and Blue went to Epona Fest 2023. So let's just jump to the conclusion. Black and Blue has an incredible talent and a fantastic musical edge to him. His ability to perfectly catch the sounds of early 2000s alternative metal, stuff like Deftones, Linkin Park, and System of a Down, and put pony contexts on them is absolutely fantastic. He's also one of my biggest Brony music inspirations. Some of my songs were written with Black and Blue in mind, like Breaking the Day, and Bones of Ancient Evil. Hell, maybe I should ask him to collab. No, I'm kidding, of course. Unless Sounds from the Shed exceeded my expectations and Wasted and Broken is incredible. I, for one, can't wait to hear what he'll do next. Alright, that's it for this episode of the Brony Musician Analysis. Thank you for watching and please don't subscribe. So let the bullets fly! Watch everybody die!
Hey, you like this microphone? Cool, right? I'm gonna use it from now on. Also, my music is on Bandcamp now. I'll pay what you want, including free. Go check it out. I think it's cool. Link in the description. Okay, now enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Blue Rain, and here are two things that I really like.
Obviously, I adore rain. I mean, it's in my name. And forests are just mysteriously beautiful. Just look at that black metal band messing around in it. I wonder what they're singing about.
But there has to be a way to get these two things to correlate, so I'm gonna run an experiment. I'm gonna go to sleep with the sounds of rain and forest playing at the same time. Let's see what happens.
Isn't it great to be different?
Well, that's not what I was expecting. I introduce you to Forest Rain.
Working from Denver, Colorado, I hope. Forest Rain is a pop-punk alternative rock plus some other genres here and there Brony musician who holds something of a legend status in the fandom community as a whole. In fact, Forest Rain isn't just a musician. She likes to paint, she narrates fan fictions and stories over on her YouTube channel, which was created on April 29th, 2009. The first upload to her YouTube channel was on New Year's Eve 2011, with a video titled MLP FIM Equestria Anthem / Circle of Friends, cover by Forest Rain, which I could have sworn was the name of a Kingdom Hearts game. From even this early on, the potential was crystal clear. A great voice, an ear for melody, everything was there like clockwork. After this video, there would be a lot of story narration, like a lot, but there were also some covers, like a cover of Family Ways by And the Rainfall, and a rock cover of Luna by Odyssey Eurobeat, or Eurobeat Brony. In fact, this cover would be covered by Snow Shovel with Forest Rain on vocals in 2020, and then redone in 2023. The 2023 Snow Shovel version being my personal favorite version of the track.
But if we want to talk about covers by Forest Rain, how could we forget this one?
What is this weird show? It's like the only thing you know. You talk about it every day. You know this is child's play.
Ah yes, Join the Herd, the classic Brony parody of You're Gonna Go Far Kid by The Offspring. How could we forget? For starters, the first upload of this song was the pop vocal version featuring a cleaner vocal performance, and there was another one with rock vocals featuring a more raw performance from Forest Rain. The lyrics are redone to be about someone who isn't in the fandom talking down on someone who is. However, slowly but surely gets roped in and starts appreciating the show for what it is and yes, joining the herd.
Bad joke.
The original 2012 versions have these thick, distorted guitars and a really great vocal performance from Forest Rain. It was this one to be featured on Forest Rain's debut album, I believe, My Little Pop Punk Pony, described as capturing her entry into the Brony music scene. You might know the 2012 versions, or you might know the 2014 remaster that was actually released on major streaming platforms and has 1 million plays on Spotify. Join the Herd is an absolute classic, and although I don't really go out of my way to listen to parody songs, except A Message from Home by Forever Free Brony and Friendship Under Control by Thrak, it should still be remembered as the great parody song it is. What a classic.
Join the herd and you will see.
So My Little Pop Punk Pony is released, and the reason I'm not talking about it is because...
Why am I so strict?
Nah, it's just an issue of consistency. Anyway, tracks like Join the Herd and Luna Alt Mode are featured prominently, and rightfully so, and judging from how many people supported it on Bandcamp, well, that's gotta be a success, right? 2012 was beginning to die down. We had Awoken, Loyalty, Between Fairy Tales and Happy Endings, and more. Forest Rain's final releases in 2012 were the 6-minute opus Great to Be Different, which is really good by the way, and Raise the Sun. For 2013, there were a lot of songs actually, A Summer in the Stars, Bad Wolf, and Nightmare Night, which isn't a cover of the Wooden Toaster classic.
Now, 2013 had passed and 2014 had blossomed forth. What does Forest Rain have to offer?
Well, some songs were in order definitely. The ones I want to point out are Fluttershy and the 2014 version of Join the Herd, which I talked about earlier, but the new one, Fluttershy, went on to be a key component to Forest Rain's sophomore album. That's right, Forest Rain's sophomore release, Something Special, which was actually released the day before my 9th birthday, look at that. Anyway, Forest Rain continues the pop-punk sound that got her this far. Songs like the aforementioned Fluttershy are pleasant and a great showcase of Forest Rain's talents. Little Sparrow is a short but sweet acoustic song. Alone is unique, a heavier tone achieved on that one, and the story-driven Springtime in Maryland is another high point. Other than those songs, I didn't see myself coming back to the others. I found the production on Polychromatic kind of uneven, which is a shame because I actually really think it's a great song. And the 2 instrumental interludes are a great showcase of Forest Rain's skill on the piano, but I didn't come back to them, which isn't a good sign because of how short the album is. 8 songs, 26 minutes, and I only come back to half the record. Of course, every review is biased, and I don't hate this album. I have a ton of respect for it. It's hard to make an album. My main issues really lie in the production and the length. Other than that, it's a perfectly fine album, and if you absolutely love it and are willing to bleed for it, more power to you. I just won't be adding the CD to my collection. So after Something Special released, something special indeed happened. Forest Rain came out as transgender.
Valid!
That's right, releasing a video just in case people didn't see on social media, Forest Rain officially came out as a transgender individual, which is just so cool. After that, there were some originals, some covers, and a lot of narration work. She even covered Gone, Gone, Gone?!
I thought this guy was severely underrated, but both Forest Rain and Basic both did Philip covers. What the hell is happening?
In 2017, we got the Acoustamando melody, a melody of the original Elements series by Acoustamando Brony, and after that, more narration and covers. There was a 5-year gap between albums after Something Special. But then!
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
May 10th, 2019 brought forth Discovery, surprisingly without any advanced singles that I could find. I'm not sure if it was a surprise drop or what, but Discovery... Oh, you guys are gonna kill me. While I think it's much better than Something Special, the issue of production comes back for me. Songs like the remake of Bad Wolf seem too ambitious for the way it sounds, although I think it's a fine song. Bad start, I know, but there are songs I really enjoyed on this record, like Twilight's Friendship School, which gives me kind of a classic rock vibe mixed with that classic Forest Rain sound. I like the key change at the end too. Professor Dash is also really good, very catchy, a cool riff accompanies it as well. In fact, Professor Dash has a little guitar quirk of Forest Rain's that I really like. Pay attention to the chord progression at this part in this chorus.
With Professor Dash here teaching me, I'll be the best that I can be.
Just a little thing I noticed about Forest Rain's guitar work. Silver Stream continues after and rounds out the first 3 tracks as an excellent trilogy of songs to open Discovery. I love Forest Rain's smooth vocal performance on it. Big Blue is a great ode to Gallus, who is part of the Young Six. Yeah, I also thought about the AVG character too.
Oh yeah, did you know that Discovery is primarily centered around the School of Friendship?
The Tempest is a sick piano-driven song with a great set of lyrics all about Tempest Shadow. It's dark, intense, and Forest Rain absolutely sells it. The rest, yeah, I won't be returning to it. It's a lot of the same woes from the Something Special section, and honestly, I feel like trash because of it. Because there is heart and soul here, there's hours of work here, and all I give it is a 4 out of 5.
Again, if you love this record, more power to you. Please don't let my opinions of these albums destroy yours. I say it again, music is entirely subjective. Every review is biased.
It was at this point in my deep discog dive of Forest Rain that I felt disillusioned. I thought the last 2 albums were fine enough, but production issues seeped through and soured my experience with those 2 full lengths. I was seriously doubting if this episode would even exist at all. With this doubt casting a shadow over me, I pressed play on the most recent Forest Rain album to date, with the lingering fear that I wasn't going to like the whole thing. What happened next was one of the greatest experiences I ever had listening to Brony music. Forest Rain won. There's no other way to put it. Forest Rain won with the incredible The End of the World, a concept album about Equestria on the brink of warfare with another race, who I believe to be the Changelings. I could be wrong, but whatever. This album gives me a ton of vibes from some of my favorite artists. The album starts in a similar vein to 1,000 Suns by Linkin Park, with 2 interlude tracks with narration and voice acting. The rest of the album takes cues from Forest Rain's orchestral experience, and even from heavier genres like metal. The Fight is the perfect proper opening track for this album, a grand envision with great guitar lines and vocal harmonies. The intro to Borders Fall give me a slight doom metal vibe before exploding into a metal masterpiece that somewhat reminds me of Muse, with Wubcake steel chords and Cyril the Wolf giving their vocal talents to the excellent track. The War is a come down from the big metal war anthems, speaking of a pony who tires of the war due to its length, featuring a great acoustic guitar and vocal performance from Forest Rain. Beacon in the Dark is straight up hip hop. Like, Forest Rain actually lays down some bars and disses people who propagate disdain in the Brony community. A community, by the way, focused on love and tolerance. It actually fits really well with the concept of the record, and I love it. And finally, For Equestria ends the album with the end of the war. Towns in dust, ponies lost in war, but at the end of it all, the ponies will still sing for their home, For Equestria. The song ends with Regan Murdoch's fantastic narration, which reminds me of A Few Words for the Firing Squad by Run the Jewels. It bookends the album perfectly.
I loved this record so much on first spin that I intentionally delayed making this episode because I bought the CD from Forest Rain's Bandcamp page. I bought this pretty quickly because I looked it up on Discogs and it said it was a limited edition. I don't know if that's true, but just in case, I went ahead and bought it. I missed out on Sounds from the Shed. I am not missing the end of the world.
The Battle is my highlight from this album, and it's the definition of pure perfection. It has everything. Sick guitar riffs, smashing drums, great lyrics about empowerment in the face of fear, and even Forest Rain doing fry screams during the fantastic chorus.
Now you're speaking my language.
The Battle is my favorite song from the album, without a doubt. Just the way it presents itself is stunning. The End of the World by Forest Rain won me over, if you couldn't tell by all the praise I've been giving this record. It's a fantastic alt-rock and metal album about warfare in Equestria by a community veteran with a unique voice and a knack for storytelling. I'll definitely be following Forest Rain from here on out. I'm excited to see what comes next. For Ponies at Dawn Echoes, Forest Rain put out Chrissy Nightmare Mode, a heavier take on one of her original songs, Chrissy. It's really sick, has some amazing bass work by Cyril the Wolf, and excellent drums by Whirlwind, who's part of a deathcore side project. Right on. In 2020, Snow Shovel enlisted the help of Forest Rain herself for vocals for a cover of Luna Alt Mode, and 3 years later would remaster it. I said it earlier, but the 2023 Snow Shovel cover with vocals from Forest Rain is my favorite version of the track. It's absolutely stellar. On August 29th, 2022, Forest Rain celebrated 10 years of Great to Be Different with a complete remaster, and it sounds great, it is great, and I recommend it.
And after that, it's been somewhat quiet. Or maybe it hasn't, I don't know. I could be wrong, maybe an album comes out tomorrow, I don't know. Forest Rain has achieved wonders and had made a name in this community due to her unique vocal identity, amazing instrumental talent, and a keen eye for storytelling. And while I may not be returning to her entire discography, you can absolutely be sure that I will be following her work going forward, always waiting for the next release. Alright, that's it for this episode of the Brony Musician Analysis. Thank you for watching, and please don't subscribe. We face the demons in our wake.
Hello everyone! My name is Blue Rain, and I can't stop talking about metal. I honestly think it's a problem. I go from Metallica to Black Sabbath to Bring Me the Horizon in the same breath. It's crazy, and when it comes to Brony metal, it's even worse. I go from Prince Whatever to Black and Blue to Biscuit in the same breath, and it's getting tiring. I'm done talking about the same 3 Brony metal musicians. I'm gonna talk about a new one. I don't think that's gonna help, but I don't care. I introduce you to Melody Brony. Set up in Southeast Michigan, Melody Brony is a multi-instrumentalist, singer, and Brony musician who specializes in the genres of rock and metal, but also does other genres here and there. He started his YouTube channel in 2013, with his first upload being... There's no way that's his first upload. And I'm partially right. Melody Brony used to make gaming content. Whether on a separate channel or not, I'm not very sure. Now you're probably asking, Blue Rain, I did some research on Melody Brony, but I never found anything about that. How do you know this information? Simple answer, by making BMA history. I reached out to Melody Brony himself and asked some questions to really flesh out this episode and make it accurate. Kind of like a faux interview. I got permission from Melody for everything, so don't worry. Anyway, The King is Melody Brony's first original pony song. It has Prince Whatever on vocals. I can't stop talking about Prince. Drummer Shy on drums, Chris on keyboard and synth, and Luck Rock on the bass, with Melody Brony doing guitars and lyrics with help from Drummer Shy. While I probably won't be returning to The King, the song highlights Melody Brony's unique writing style that would carry over throughout the years. It's the start of an amazing career, trust me. Also in 2019 we got What? Okay, so Best Friends featuring Stealing Shades and Forever Free Brony checks out, but here we have a song called The Wonderbolts, which says it was released in 2019, but on Bandcamp, it's only on his Best Hits compilation, which was released in early 2020. I'm confused. Luckily, I have Melody Brony to ask about this discrepancy, and I got an answer. The song was released on YouTube in 2019, but then was put onto Bandcamp for the Best Hits compilation. Now we move into 2020. On Bandcamp, we got the Origins EP with a collection of released songs on YouTube. We also have these songs on Spotify, although as singles. We also got the aforementioned Best Hits compilation. 2021 brings us new versions of Moonlight and Stay, and some new songs like Onward, Wanna Be Rockstar, with a title that just reminds me of Nickelback, and Trixie, which was featured on Ponies at Dawn Ocean Song. We also got Forever Young, which is a poppy playtime song. Okay, now you're asking me, Blue Rain, you're just skimming through songs. Why aren't you talking about anything in detail? Well, it's because we haven't reached anything that I really enjoy yet. Kill the monster! I'm sorry, don't kill me! Unfortunately, I couldn't see myself returning to a lot of these older Melody Brony songs, but things do begin to change around 2022, and for me personally, it's signaled by...
Without further ado, let's get on with the show. This one's called Fall. Get down.
That's right, Melody Brony featured on the excellent Fall by Biscuit on his phenomenal album, This Is Where the Good Bit Starts. Melody Brony does a section in the chorus and does the second verse. You can tell it's Melody Brony because of those clean vocals. In my eyes, I see Melody Brony's clean vocals as one of his many selling points. I mentioned it in my video on Black and Blue. Like, you can hear what he's singing even when the breakdowns are fierce. Plus, it's a very unique vocal identity, and I really like it. But again, for 2022, Fall is about it for me personally. We did get songs like Horror Show, Finn, which was covered by Black and Blue, Deceived, and Royalty, but we haven't landed on a Melody Brony original that I really adore yet, unfortunately. I'm not throwing shade on anybody who likes Melody Brony's older work. It's a similar case to Forest Rain. It's just taken a while for me to find anything that I really connect to. We're entering 2023, however, and things do begin to look even brighter. For starters, we get a song that we'll talk about later, but we also get the very song that finally sold Melody Brony to me. After this one, I was an instant fan. 2023 became the year of Melody Brony. What was the song? Hardcore viewers of the BMA are gonna pin it all on Prince Whatever being on the song because I make my adoration of Prince's music very, very obvious, but Sovereign is what finally sold me on Melody Brony. As soon as I heard that opening riff, I knew there was a place in my heart for Melody Brony and its sweet, clean vocals. Sovereign is excellent. More than excellent. It's fucking perfect. The riffs are energetic and get you hyped for the track. The vocals are harmonized amazingly. Melody had some help from the great Black and Blue for that one. The screams from Prince Whatever give it that metalcore punch, and the lyrics speak of Queen Chrysalis and her eventual takeover of Equestria. I'm pretty sure it was the collaborators who led me to this masterpiece of a song, retweeting it and whatnot, and I'm extremely glad they did. Sovereign places somewhere in my top 20 favorite Brony songs of all time. It's pure gold, and of course it's Melody Brony's most popular track on Spotify. Sovereign is kind of like my everything in its right place for Melody Brony. Let me give some context. I used to think Radiohead weren't a band for me, until I re-listened to their song Everything in Its Right Place. After that, I gave a second shot to the band and I fell in love with them. Now they're one of my top 5 favorite bands, and I think that metaphor applies to Melody Brony. Sovereign sold Melody Brony to me and showed me that Melody Brony was worth paying attention to. Maybe I should go back and give those older tracks a respin. I might find some gold that I mistook for pyrite. Who knows? When it comes to Brony metal music, Sovereign is up there with the greats. Fantastic hooks line this song, like the catchy chorus, Prince Whatever screaming this, "My heart is on fire!" And the rhythm of the second verse gets stuck in your head with its chugs and intense vocal performance from Melody. It's a perfect Brony metal song. Oh my god, Sovereign is an amazing song. With Melody Brony at the helm, with help from Prince Whatever and Black and Blue, Melody Brony simply won. The riffs are fantastic, the emotion is on point, and it's definitely worth your time. But what about that other song that I kind of just skipped over? I didn't skip over it because I didn't like it, far from it actually. I skipped over it because it was the first of 2 early cogs in a much bigger machine down the line. The bigger machine, as I call it, has been in the works for a while, all the way up to the day before it released. And on November 1st, it dropped. Remember those EPs and compilations I briefly mentioned a bit back? I didn't talk about them because they weren't listed on Spotify, and if you're a common viewer of the BMA, you know the rules, but Melody Brony did mention before this project dropped that it would be released on streaming, so I already knew that this episode was gonna happen. This is Generational, Melody Brony's most recent release. It's a 6-song EP. This release is going to be referred to as an EP from now on, and yes, 5 out of 5 EPs are now eligible for the BMA. Full of some excellent riffs, plenty of Melody Brony's unique and enjoyable songwriting and vocals, and a good serving of Black and Blue. It's a 27-minute exploration into what makes Melody Brony great. Also, that cover art, top tier, it's actually fantastic. A fun little production quirk of Melody Brony that I picked up on while listening is something I'm gonna call the sudden pause, or the sudden stop. It's where the song cuts every instrument except for 1 or 2 in some cases to add suspense to a big chorus or breakdown or whatnot. This EP has that in spades. I'll really quickly play every song that has it, just for funsies. The subject matter of the entire EP revolves entirely around the 5th generation of My Little Pony. Now, I don't have experience with the 5th generation as I haven't taken the time to start binging it, but I asked Melody Brony for a quick summary of each song to help with the tracklist breakdown, and he provided. Minor spoilers ahead just in case you haven't watched G5 yet. Not Worth Saving Part 1 has a really cool lead part at its beginning and explodes into a spectacle detailing Opaline's anger towards being banished by the royal sisters. It's followed up by the second part, which has some cool chug riffs across it and features Biscuit on the glorious breakdown. Far Away was one of the singles released before the EP came out, and I loved it as soon as it dropped. It's a song about Sunny Starscout and the loss of her father. The emotions are conveyed beautifully in the lyrics and Melody's vocal performance. Excellent track. I'm Fine details Pip Petal's mask of cheerfulness that she keeps on for the populace, yet her internal feelings are pained and distraught due to all the attention and expectations she receives. And It Wasn't Nice Knowing You was the first single released for it. It paints the picture of Misty Brightdawn finally realizing the control Opaline had over her and escaping from it. It wasn't released as a single, so I can't do a proper highlight, but I'm still gonna talk about it, You Can't Stop Me. Runaway is my highlight from this EP. It was a fight between this and I'm Fine, and Runaway won as my favorite track from the project. Runaway speaks of Zip's storm and her longing to run away from a life she doesn't want, being the heir to the throne of what I'm pretty sure is Zephyr Heights. She longs to find something else out there than the life she lives currently. I will endlessly praise the chorus for being so incredibly catchy and full of passion, as I do believe it to be one of Melody Brony's best vocal performances, and the orchestration from Frozen Night gives this track the edge to be my favorite from the EP. This whole track is just so incredibly compelling. It makes me want to learn more about Zip. So I guess I better start clearing my schedule to start watching G5. Sidetracking real quick, I just want to add that Generational made some personal history for me as well. It's the first full-length project that I've ever listened to in full on my brand new iPod, the iPony. I had such faith in the singles that I had to buy it on iTunes and load it up on the iPod, and man, I was not disappointed. Also, you already know, I bought the CD as soon as it became available. I wonder if I was the first person to buy it. Generational is a stellar release for Melody Brony, with its outstanding performances both from Melody and all the featured artists, lyrics that capture genuine emotion while still keeping that Melody Brony charm, and the final product just being overall fantastic. I'm pleased to award Generational by Melody Brony with a certificate of perfection, meaning every single song on this release is in my playlist, or nowadays, my iPod. Excellent work, Melody Brony! Generational is pretty much the later years. There's not much else to say, although I could backtrack a bit and add on the fact that Melody Brony helped out Evershade on Pushin' Buttons, Luck Rock on I Would Die For You Zip and What's Going On, Lester Dawn, and Prince Whatever with their parody song The Wonderbolt and the Thief, among many others. So let's skip to the conclusion. I can't believe it took me this long to really appreciate Melody Brony and his body of work. As the guy who constantly jams Prince Whatever, Biscuit, and Black and Blue, I really should have been jamming Melody Brony as well. But now, I get to relish in every brand new song, EP, and album that he releases from here on out. And you already know I'm extremely excited for the next thing. And that's the end! A huge thank you to Melody Brony himself for answering the various questions I asked to help flesh this episode out. I really hope I wasn't annoying about it. As always, if you want to read through the script I wrote for this episode, that is linked in the description, along with Melody Brony's YouTube, Twitter, and Bandcamp. Show him some support! Alright, that's it for this episode of the Brony Musician Analysis. Thank you for watching, and please don't subscribe. So maybe I'll run away.